Hello, and welcome to the seventh video lecture of Sales and Retail Management, Semester 6, Model number 1. I am Professor Prashant Birje, and in today's video lecture, we are going to study emergence of retailing. Emergence of retailing in India or evolution of retail in India. How did retail take the shape that it is today? While we dig into the history of retailing of India, or maybe the history of retailing of mankind, barter system is considered to be the oldest form of retail trade. Retail in India has evolved to support the unique needs of a country given its size and complexity. Traditional formats like Haats, Mandis, Melas, weekly markets, all these have been a part of Indian landscape. They still continue to be part of our present life. We see these kind of Melas, Mandis, Haats everywhere throughout the nook and corner of India. Every essential part of our life, every essential commodity of especially the rural life is been seen in these kind of mandis. These kind of things, if we see, are the historical, or we can say the earlier part before the public distribution and other organized retail came into India. The public distribution system would easily emerge as India's single largest retail chain existing in the country. The evolution of public distribution of grains in India actually originated before the independence. It was introduced by the Britishers during the World War II when there was scarcity of food grains. The system was abolished post independence, but again the government of India had to reintroduce it in 1950 because of the renewed inflationary pressures on food grains. There are various canteen stores, especially the army air force canteens which are there, and also post offices of India which come under retailing, that needs a special mention. The khadi and the village industries, that is the KVIC, was also set up post independence. Today there are more than 7,000 KVIC stores across India. The cooperative movement started to gain momentum and was championed by the government, which set up the Kendriya Bhandars in 1963. Thus, a lot of new retail stores, that is, retail cooperative stores, came into existence post independence. In the past few years, decades, we can see that the Indian marketplace has transformed dramatically. It has changed so much that it is difficult to check all the points which take into consideration, or which have to be considered, or which are very important to understand these changes. However, from the 1950s to the 80s, investments in various industries was very limited because of the low purchasing power in the hands of the consumers and the government's policies which were favoring the small scale sector. Slowly, as the liberalization took place, Indian economy progressed and it became more and more market friendly. While independence or independent retail stores like Akbar Ali's, Vivek's, Nalli's have existed in India for a long time, even before independence. The first attempt, the first actual attempt at organized retailing were noticed and seen in the textile sector. One of the major pioneers in this field was Raymond's, which set up stores to retail fabric. It also developed dealer network to retail its fabric, that is cloth. These dealers sold a mix of fabrics of Raymond's. Similarly, looking at the success of Raymond's, many other brands came into existence, especially in the field of textile, to open up their chain of stores. To mention, the most prominent competitor of Raymond at that time was Reliance, which set up Vimal showrooms and garden silk mills with garden vareli saris. It was but natural that following the footsteps of this textile retail, ready made branded apparel also picked up sales and organized many stores throughout India. To mention a few, Madhura Garments, Arvind Mills, etc., set up stores of branded menswear. With the success of branded menswear, the new age of departmental stores arrived in India in the early 90s. If we see from the initial, we see that the traditional formats or historical formats, we can say, or those which are even existing in rural markets, are basically of the itinerant salesman, that is the salesman who walks from one village to the other village to sell things, or it may be hearts, melas, mandis, etc. Then we have certain established formats also today, which are the kirana stores, that is the mom and pop stores. We have convenience stores, departmental stores, companies which run a chain of stores, cooperative stores, public distribution or fair price shop, that is your ration shop. We have, and also we have various kiosks like your pan and bd shops, which are at every corner of the street. There are certain emerging formats which we have to look at, like the exclusive retail outlets, for example jockey, hypermarkets, internal retail that is happening, malls, specialty malls, multiplexes, rural oriented formats, fast food outlets, service galleries, etc. This was, in a sense, the beginning of a new era for retail in India. The fact that post liberalization, the economy had opened up and a new large middle class was spending power had emerged, helped to shape this retail business. The vast middle class market demanded value for money products. The emergence of the modern Indian housewife who managed her home and work led to a demand for more products, a better shopping ambience and experience, more convenience, and one stop shopping. This has fueled the growth of departmental stores, supermarkets, and other specialty stores. The concept of retail as entertainment came to India with the advent of malls. The development of malls is now visible not only in major metros like Bangalore, Mumbai, Delhi, Gurgaon, Noida, but also in other parts of the countries. We also see that along with these modern retail formats which are there, and especially with the lockdown that we have seen in a recent last 1 year, that one new format that has emerged is that of which has picked again, in fact not it had emerged earlier itself, but which has gained more prominence, is the online retail. Many people have started to order their things, especially their daily requirements also, which was not happening earlier, like grocery on Amazon. You can order grocery on Amazon, you can order grocery on various websites, so and apps which are available. So such kind of things have also started. So slowly and slowly technology is also picking up in your retail sector. So this is how the retail in India has picked up and evolved. If we see the growth of retail in India, this is how it looks like. The picture may, okay, I've just enlarged it so that you can get to know how it is. uh, there are three graphs here, a dotted line like this at the bottom, then we have the black line, and then we have this blue line or green line. So what does this dotted line mean? Dotted line means the clothing, black is food, beverages, and tobacco, whereas this is the total retail. Hmm? So that is this clothing plus other things together. I'll just show you with this pointer. Okay, this will help me. So this is clothing, the bottommost part. This is uh, food and other things which is apart from clothing, and this is the total of these two, that is total retail. In 1998, you can see, from 1998, 99, 2000, 2001, the entire thing is only increasing. So this tells you a trend that is happening in retail, that is retailing in India is picking up and it is increasing year by year. Coming back to the organized and unorganized sector, or how this sector is spanned up, that is Indian retail sector is divided into two main important parts. That is, we have organized retail and we have unorganized retail. So, what are these organized and unorganized retails? We see that many corporate chains, retail cooperatives, franchisee organizations, they have many branches which are spread throughout the country. So, what happens in these things is organized, these are known as organized retailing. Organized retailing constitutes the licensed retailers registered under the sales and the income tax involved in carrying out their day to day trading functions or day to day operations. This may include large hypermarkets like Big Bazaar, large scaled owned retail ventures owned privately, or the retail chains as well. On the other hand, we have unorganized sector. These are the traditional family run stores or the corner stores like your pan and bidi stores, your kirana stores, etc. These do not have any GST number, they do not give you bill generally. They are just, that is why they are known as unorganized. In India, in fact, in any economy, in developed economies, if we see, organized sector constitutes close to 90% or maybe more than 75% definitely. But in India, we see a different thing. More than 90% is unorganized sector, whereas the remaining this 10% is organized. So this is the thing that is there in India. If we see at the retail pie, if we want to see what Indians are purchasing on net, if we see, or what Indians are purchasing in retailing, the major portion is food and grocery that they are purchasing. Apart from that, 7%, that is 54%, 7% is apparel, that is clothing. Then we have electronics and consumer durables, medicines, etc. So there are many, you can go through this chart and get to know what constitutes the Indian retail pie. So this is how people in India spend when they go to retail stores. I hope you have understood today's lecture. If you have any difficulties, you can always contact us.